Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be featuring Tapu Fini. We got Tapu Fini running the Water Gun, Moonblast, and Surf paired with Registeel and Dragon Breath Giratina. He had a great first lead over there. 4-star opponent to switch. We don't necessarily have a hard counter to this Snorlax, so we have to stay in either chip and dip, or let's see what we end up doing here. We're gonna go for the Surf here just to do some damage, and then probably switch into the Regi, I believe. Let's look. Yep, that's exactly what we end up doing. So we go for the Regi here because even if they throw superpower here, we should survive it, and then we can throw the Focus Blast when it comes up. And we're actually not too worried about winning this matchup because we have Giratina and Tapu Fini for that Machamp. They decided to let it go because they probably want all this farm. Let's see if they end up throwing the move. They do throw a move. We force them to use some energy, but also they're able to get some extra farm. We have a decision to make. Do we go in with the Tapu Fini or do we go in with the Giratina? We decided to go in with the Giratina because we're going to be able to apply this Dragon Breath fast impression. And the only thing we're only considering here is maybe it has payback. So we decided to shield, and it ends up being a Rock Slide. The fact that they're throwing a Rock Slide right there obviously shows us they don't have payback, but also that they probably don't have a real good counter to this Giratina. Let's find out. Oh, so it turns out that they have a decent counter to it. This Alolan Muck is running the Poison Jab version. If it had Snarl, it would have been a way better situation for this Muck against this Giratina. However, it is running the Poison Jab, so it's not going to do super effective for the fast moves, but these Dark Pulses are going to hurt. So we're definitely having to throw multiple moves here to whittle this thing down. Let's see what we end up doing. They go for the shield, and they have no shields now. And then we try to get to this extra Surf before they get to the move. We know that they have to throw Acid Spray because Dark Pulse will be resisted, and a little bit of a lag there, but we somehow survived the 2 additional Poison Jabs that went through, I think. And we have a sliver of health before we get to the Surf, and that's actually huge. That's huge trip damage because now we just gotta get to this Dragon Claw, and this should be enough to take out this Alolan Muck. So GG to our opponent right there. Kind of an interesting team. Shadow Machamp and Shadow Snorlax paired with a Alolan Muck. I guess they're just trying to use Shadow Snorlax as their safe switch, and then kind of a hard counter to the fairy types that counter the Shadow Machamp. I like the team. Good try. Okay, and then let's see what's happening on this next game here. Next matchup, we have Tapu Fini versus the Jellicent. Kind of a weird situation here. We decided to immediately switch out, try to get an energy advantage, try to draw some kind of fighter. Indeed, we do draw out the Virizion. So they actually had 2 things relatively good against the Tapu Fini. But we do draw out the Virizion here, so let's see what they end up doing. They obviously going to be throwing Sacred Swords. The Sacred Swords, they do like, I don't know, 20%. And our Focus Blast did about 35%. Just eyeballing this, they are going to be able to take us out, but maybe we get a shield. Let's see. Are they going to allow us to get a shield from them? If we get a shield from them, that's well done by the Reggie. That's pretty much all you can ask for in that situation. Two bad situations where we got hard countered, and we decided to go with a Dragon Breath Giratina. We are not really afraid of any move, even if they throw Stone Edge. It's only neutral. That ends up being the case, and here we're debating whether we should to expend one of our shields because it's probably going to be Stone Edge. We decided to let it go, just tank it, and then just farm it all the way down, I think. Perfect. Dragon Breath Giratina, big tank, and unfortunately for us, it looks like this backline is just way too strong for us. So we have 2 shields, we definitely gotta use it. They could have thrown the Sleep 8 there, but they're just gonna throw probably a bunch of shadow balls at us. Maybe if this Moonblast goes through, we can, I don't know, maybe we can get a debuff. Oh, okay, they shielded. Okay, so the fact that they shielded that Moonblast is huge, and we didn't get a debuff. This is not looking great for us. Maybe we have one thing left. We're gonna try to get to another Moonblast here. All shields are down. We go for this Moonblast here. We need a debuff. Can we get a debuff before this Jellicent gets to another move? Moonblast goes through. No debuff. We try to snipe them. We try to snipe all that energy, but unfortunately, they already have the move available, and they throw a shadow ball right into our Giratina, wasting all of our energy on our Giratina, unfortunately. So that's GG's. If we couldn't make that snipe play, I don't see how we're going to be able to come back from this. These surfs, probably like 30%. Unfortunately, just not enough. So GG's to our opponents right there. Nice job on making sure you throw the move right when we switched. And they just go for the Earthquake for the KO. Tough team. Jellicent, yeah, Jellicent is kind of hard to deal with. We don't have a super hard counter to it. The Reggie is probably our best. And then we just got met with the Verizon in the back. Just nothing, no plays we could have done. We did try to make that sneaky play with the Giratina, but oh well. Alright, here we go. Great lead here. They decided to switch into the Malamar. Ultra League Malamar. Whoa. I don't ever remember seeing an Ultra League Malamar. Kudos to this opponent here running some interesting stuff here. They decided to go for the foul play. And then we're going to go for the Zap Cannon because with Ultra League stuff, you're generally needing 2 huge moves. And we do get the debuff right there, so that's huge. That means we're probably not going to shield for the rest of this matchup here. Like I said, even that Zap Cannon only did about 50%. So I'm pretty sure most stuff you're going to have to throw 2 big moves, so you might as well go for the Zap Cannons for the Reggie as a Reggie and try to get the debuff. They decided to go for a superpower first, and then they go for another superpower, which means that they're double debuffed, but because we already initially debuffed them, we knew that we could survive all that, and they decided to let it go. And then they come in with their Swampert, and I immediately switch out because I technically have 2 things good for that Swampert. So we're going to force them to reveal that last one because the Tapu Fini is really good against I think it was the Shadow Swampert. So it ends up being a Drapion, Ultra League Drapion. Potentially could know Sludge Bomb, Crunch. Okay, and they go for the Sludge Bomb. Huge shield right there. So they have revealed that they have Sludge Bomb. So we do have to be aware of that. We're going to be just chipping away, keep on using serves to apply pressure. And let's see, is it worth a shield here and potentially farm down with the Giratina? We decide not to let it we decide not to shield it, and let's see if we can get to a surf here. Barely get to the surf. We barely are able to just sneak a move here. Definitely taking out this Drapion, and then we just come in with our Dragon Breath Giratina. This is a Shadow Swampert, so it is taking some heavy Dragon Breath damage. Just Dragon Breaths alone have already whittled it down 25 to 30%. That right there was probably the call of the match, because it could have, I think, potentially could have been an Earthquake, but they just decided to keep going for these Hydro Cannons. And believe it or not, at this point, I'm kind of thinking of just potentially Dragon Breath down, but I'm kind of watching how much damage all of these Hydros are doing, and so because of all these Hydros coming in that are being resisted, we know that we can survive this one, because they're not going to be able to get to another Earthquake. And that is GG's. We literally just Dragon Breath that Shadow Swampert down from basically almost full health. I would have liked to see my opponent possibly, I don't know if they were only running Sludge Wave, it looks like they were, but if they had Earthquake, I would have liked to see them use Earthquake the entire time, because I only have one shield, and you're kind of guaranteeing that the Swampert would get at least one Earthquake off against that Giratina, and then who knows what would happen. Alright, here we have a pretty decent matchup considering the entire team. We definitely don't want Warring against the Giratina, and against the Reggie, it's kind of depending on bait. So here we're kind of anticipating Earthquake, and that's exactly what comes through. And then we're kind of just throwing at a really random time. We go for the Moonblast. We definitely don't want to go Surf right here, especially with this tanky Pokemon. They decided to Shield, which is fine. And then now we're just going to see who is going to call each other's bluff here. This is at the range where they potentially could go for the Earthquake, and this is also a good range for them to bait. So they decided to shield, or decided to bait and go for double Icicle Spheres, using up a lot of energy. And one of the main reasons I decided not to shield him, because once again, this Reggie would be able to KO with either moves at this range, and so that was the primary reason why I didn't shield that first one. And then they decided to take us out with another Icicle Sphere. But here, we kind of forced them to go for the Earthquake, because we have two shields, and we know that they already built up to the Earthquake. We decided to shield it, and then we decided to farm up just a little bit, and then we go for the Focus Blast. And Reggie with energy, tied in shields, generally pretty good. Let's see what happens. Okay, they end up having the good old Haxorus. This is a kind of a cool little addition to the Ultra League meta. We know what it's gonna run. Edge Counter as a fast move, Breaking Swipe as a community move. They decided to go for the Breaking Swipe, I guess just to debuff me. But I think it potentially could have Night Slash, right? So let's see what they end up throwing here. The counters are going to be the biggest damage. Oh, and they're running Surf. Okay, so they're running Surf and breaking Swipe. So unfortunately for them, we do have a Dragon Breath Giratina, so we would be able to take down that Haxorus later. But we first got to deal with this Trevenant. So this Trevenant, we throw the Shadow Sneak to do some super effective ghost damage, and we decided to invest a shield here because we're going to be whittling this thing away, and we're going to be throwing a move, I believe, right before they get to another Shadow Ball. This Shadow Ball, if they got to another one, would be doing huge damage. potentially KOing the Giratina. And then now we're just gonna try to go for this Dragon Claw before they get to a move. Unfortunately, they get to a move. Will this Breaking Swipe be enough? Let's see. Oh, it's close. And then fortunately for us, we were able to survive 2 counters right there, which allowed us to get to this Dragon Claw. It is debuffed, but because of Haxorus squishiness, we were able to wipe it out. And we take game number 2. So I think we just kind of outbulked them in the back there. That Haxorus, kind of an interesting pick. I don't know if it's recommended to use Surf or not. I'm surprised it isn't running like a Night Slash. I don't know. I'm curious to see what we should be running with the Haxorus. Anyways, next match we have terrible. We have the good old Melmetal versus the Tapu Fini. We immediately switch out the Reggie here. Okay, so they're building up a ton of energy, making it seem like they're building up to 2 superpowers in dip. That's exactly what happened. We show the first one correctly, and then we let the second one go, I believe. Yeah, because it doesn't do as much damage. And then here we end up going for a Zap Cannon, because we thought they were going to try to catch on us. But either way, this Zap Cannon is good damage. They decided to shield anyways, so we got the 1 shield back. But unfortunately, that Melmetal leaves with at least one superpower available for later, and so we gotta have awareness of that. We go for the Focus Blast here on the Chesnaught. Does about 50%. We try to catch a move here, and let's see if we do catch it correctly. Is this going to be the superpower? Okay, we do catch the superpower, so that's nice. Unfortunately for us, that's as good as it's going to get, because we have non-effective fast move and we have non-effective surf. The only thing that's going to be big damage to this is the Moonblast, and we don't even get to it. So even though it was a nice catch, I don't know if it was worth it, because now they basically were able to farm us down, take us out, and we didn't even get to another move. So here, this is, oh, I was gonna say we were gonna farm it down, but okay, this is just bad. Unfortunately for us, they had a fairy in the back. It kind of felt like they had this game from the start. There was almost no wiggle room at all. The Melmetal dominated the Tapu Fini, and then the Reggie also just got dominated by the Chesnaught. This is pretty much GG's. They go for the close combat. The close combat takes out the Reggie easy, and no matter what we throw here, it's pretty much over. They could even survive a Shadow Snake at that range, I think, but they do just shield for insurance, and then they're just gonna farm us down. Tough. All right, unfortunately we weren't able to beat that, but check out this team if you can. Let us know if you're gonna use it.